Hello, internets, and welcome back after a month hiatus. I know I've missed all of you so much, but welcome back to Elegant Magicks, the good society tale of incantations and infatuations in Bexley under Mount Whitebridge. Gets easier every time. Welcome back, everybody. Hello! So excited to be with you again. If you're with us live, like Morgan, hey Morgan, hi. Thank you for being in chat. Participating along by extra monologues, by NPC names. I would appreciate that actually, because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of them coming up. Participate in chat. If you are catching us in the future, hello from the past. You can check us out obviously on VOD on our Twitch channel or on the YouTubes. We have a lot of content on the YouTubes and on our Twitch. If you are watching us live, you can check below our lovely faces right now and see our full schedule. We are back online for the regular schedule, I believe, including for tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern, bumping it up an hour, just like we are today, for Neon Souls. Val runs that. I'll let them talk about that. But otherwise, other channel things, I don't have my merch with me, but we have merch. We have extensive merch on the GGK merch store. Please check it out. It includes a lot of memorabilia of random things that we have said on this channel at some point that you can get on tank tops and mugs and lovely, comfortable, fuzzy sweatshirts. Some not limited to By Flying Ready to Die, We Need Sleep, Roll for Smut, a lot of wonderful, ridiculous things to wear upon your person. Check it out. But yeah, we are just gonna jump right in because we have a lot to review because it's been a while. So why don't I shut up and let my lovely players introduce themselves. Please tell our wonderful internet audience who the heck you are, where the heck we can find you on the internets, and who are you playing tonight, and what do they want? Because I know they want something. Let's start with Val.
Hello everyone, I am Val at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. You can find me here Thursdays through Sundays, either playing games or running them. Like Sid said, we're gonna be back with Neon Souls tomorrow. We're gonna be I don't remember where we left off because it's been a few weeks since we played. I will remind myself before next time. And then we have the session 0 for our season 2 of Saturday Night Star Power this Saturday. We're going to be creating our Fate characters for our new game there. That's pretty much it that's going on this week for me. And tonight I am going to be playing, get the sheet up, Layrd Avalon Cross, who is the socialite, and their desire is to drive the family that looks down on them to self-destruction and ruin.
Like you do. Savvy.
Hello, that's me. I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my now updated streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. Just like Val, I'm here Thursdays through Sunday afternoons, either playing in games or running them. Particularly, I run Thursday's Children, our newest addition to the channel, I guess, on Sunday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're playing Vaesen, which is a Nordic horror role-playing game. It's still monster hunting, but very different than what we were doing before, and I really, really like it. And then on Sunday nights, you can find me on twitch.tv/lbhackemup playing Dungeons and Dragons as Alhena, the Centaur cleric. Not cleric, she's a druid. I'm so used to playing clerics, I just say the word cleric now. She's a druid, which is like a cleric for plants. Anyway, that's what I do on Sunday nights. But tonight, I am playing Jessamine Blackwood, whose desire is to restore her family name and resume her place in society.
Excellent. RJ!
Hey everybody, it's me, RJ. You can catch me at RJ282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream. You can catch me on Mondays over at the Indoor Adventures channel in our homebrew campaign as Calum, a Shadowkai wizard, and we're about to go into the Shadowfell. to go and free the Raven Queen from her tortured prison. It's gonna be great. You can catch me also here on Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursdays for Elegant Magicks. We'll talk about that later. And Saturdays for both our upcoming Mistborn campaign as well as the Star Power game coming up. So catch the Session Zero there. Sunday mornings, you can catch me over at the Hype Goblins channel where I play a cleric sorcerer half-elf who's just so tired. They're about to rob a casino. It's weird. But today, I'll be playing Jarvis Hawke, who is the careerist, and their desire is to receive proposals from or make successful proposals to at least 2 eligible houses.
Las Bonales, Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex. OMG, it's some guy on the internets. I'm mostly here on GGK, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. Those sometimes Saturdays being the Mistborn game, and Tuesdays either running masks or playing in the Burbs, which we've had to miss a lot lately. We're trying to get back to a more regular schedule with that. Thank you for bearing with us. And in tonight's game, I am playing Mr. Bernard Sinclair, the new arrival, who wants to enter into a marriage with someone who truly loves you without revealing his hidden wealth.
And boy, is Bernie working that one. And I will be your facilitator this evening. I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid here at various times, Thursdays through Sundays as well. And most importantly, for this evening, running this shindig. Again, running being a very loose term for this game. Again, it's been a while, so we're just gonna jump right into this thing. I have an extensive recap, both for our audience as well as my players. So, last time on Elegant Magicks, we started out with some lovely rumor, scandal, reputation, and some very illuminating letters, including some confirmation that Bernie does indeed apparently have an arranged marriage back in America that he is running away from here in jolly old England, as well as the fact that Zachary Hawke, Jarvis's older brother, has apparently been tasked not only with heisting this mysterious cargo from the Fey Court ambassador, Mrs. Knox, but also with assassinating someone here within Bexley. Bum bum bum. However, we jumped back into our scenes with Jarvis also attempting to beg off some of his more difficult tasks from his family, including mirroring very well here within Bexley, as well as helping his brother to steal this cargo from Mrs. Knox, but was told quite sagely by the Hawke family matriarch, Mrs. Siobhan Hawke, to simply ask for assistance. Ask for help. Jarvis, don't do everything by yourself, Jarvis. So he did finally heed that bit of advice and enlisted the help of Jessamine and Bernie. Before their plotting session, however, Bernie spoke alone to Jarvis and made Jarvis aware of his intent to not only court Jarvis, but as well Jessamine and Avalon. Jarvis had a couple misgivings due to his ill repute, potentially causing everyone some harm. But he'll think on it. The plotting for the heist commenced, where most importantly we found out that Bernie does a terrible English accent. It is awful. It's really bad, you guys. But he tried his best. Bernie, lastly, the last of this potential polycule, speaks with Avalon. Avalon came to visit at Bernie's estate. They spoke of a lot of things because apparently they hadn't spoken in a while. They talked about Avalon's potential political intrigues at the Arcana Populi, as well as Bernie's proposition of courting everyone. Avalon seemed somewhat amenable to that proposition, but also has some concerns about not only, Bernie and their longstanding friendship and how that would, change that potentially, but also with their current romantic relationship with Jessamine, whatever they got going on. So they had a lovely discussion, however, which then turned into Jessamine and Avalon having a lovely brunch where they got to know each other a little better and plotted to keep them both in the Baroness's good graces by Jessamine continuing to, I don't know if pretend to court, but to court Duke Jimothy Northshire. However, they were interrupted by the arrival of Lord von Karma, who came to announce his intention to court none other than the Baroness herself, to the shock of, well, everyone. This, however, might have something to do with the rumor going around that the Baroness likes to bathe in human blood. I don't know. Maybe that would be appealing to a vampire. Who knows? She seemed down with this, though. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting later on as well. However, we ended. My music has gone insane. We ended with the long-awaited cargo heist. Jarvis and Zachary were actually forced to protect the cargo from another group of thieves who, surprise, also wanted it. They kept it untouched until it was brought into the college for safekeeping. When the attempted double cross of Zachary was put into place, however, Zachary surprised everyone by revealing himself to be a werewolf. And oops, it was a full moon, y'all. Yikes. Zachary did bite Jessamine, and by way of a protection spell from before, also Jarvis. Even worse than Jessamine. Yeah, we might have to resolve the werewolf bite at some point as well, friends. Just a reminder. However, Jessamine managed to cage the now werewolfed Zachary on a little quick bit of transmutation magic. And the group finally opened this mysterious cargo to reveal Jessamine, or at the very least, a young woman who looked exactly like Jessamine. Jessamine and, it turns out, Jarvis, however, would both realize that this is not Jessamine. This is, in fact, Jessamine's twin sister, Jacqueline. Ooh, that was a lot, but that was everything. That was one session, y'all. Wow. If anyone has anything else to add, I feel like I got it all, but, let me know.
I do have a note, and maybe
Yes.
I just messed up with putting the wrong name, that Zach at some point went after Avalon. Maybe I meant to say Jessamine in my notes.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That little bit is important. That whole thing of Zachary apparently taking on an assassination in Bexley? Yeah, it turns out the person that they were supposed to be trying to assassinate was Avalon. And yes, Zachary did try to get Jarvis in on that little bit of, murder. Fun times. Thank you. Always have an Alex in your group. So, I think we need a change of music for these shenanigans. Yes. So, as I said, we have left off with the group bandaging their wounds, opening this large, now that you're looking at it, person-sized chest to reveal Jessamine's twin.
I believe Jarvis is still in the hallway. It was Jessamine and Bernard who were in the room with Zachary.
So, Jessamine, Bernie,
Jack?
Jess? Is this real?
Incredibly. What are you doing here?
What do you do? Where is he? What the bloody hell's going on?
Bernard, help me.
Yes, of course, ma'am. Still trying to do the.
I think we're past that. Bernard, thank you. Help me get around.
Right, yeah. Offers
Managed.
her hand.
You shimmy her out of the opened cargo container. She looks not great. A lot thinner than you remember her. Pretty scuffed up. Her clothes are threadbare. She doesn't look like she's got to take a, to bathe in a while. Hair's a bit of a mess. But she's otherwise whole and well and here.
All in one piece.
What is going on? What are you doing here? Where are we?
I don't really think I have time to explain all that. Jacqueline, Bernard, Jacqueline, we should go.
Oh, all right. Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Pleasure to meet you.
We go back to Jarvis's secret lab.
Great. Jarvis?
Yes,
I don't really
yes.
have time to explain that either.
He's outside. You two get going. I would like to have words with the other Mr. Hawke over here first.
Please be careful.
I'll be right behind you.
All right. Come on, Jackie.
There's a werewolf. Never mind.
Oh, that's Jarvis's brother. Cousin? I don't remember. It's been about a month since I've had to talk about this. Brother.
Yes. That's Zach?
You remember.
Hi, Zach?
He was the one carrying the box time. Well, stealing the box?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wants to kidnap you more than you were already being kidnapped.
Well, fuck off, Zach. Bloody hell.
We are very kidnappable. We should go.
Rawr.
I was about to say. You're welcome to try and talk to Zach, I guess, but Zach is like full on wolfed, but it's cool. The ladies will exit.
So when you said you transmuted him into a cage, I'm assuming the cage is metal or...
I think we'd said there was some like shelving and yes, had kind of turned that into a cage around Zach. Ari.
Okay. So just gonna approach the cage, but careful not to get within, clawing distance. Well, Zach, not entirely sure how this is going to end up. I admit I'm kind of playing things off the cuff here, but it's come to my attention that you have been contracted to go after the Layrd. And now the Layrd is very dear to me. And if you should know one thing about us Sinclairs, if someone comes after what we care about, well, you're in for a world of hurt. And I'd like to use some magic to essentially heat metal the cage that Zach is in.
Oh, damn. Okay. This will be a token exchange. Let's pull up our magic table here. All right, so you would like this to work, I am assuming, given that you are trying to be all intimidating.
Yes.
All right, so you would be paying a token to Zachary.
Mm-hmm.
Val, go ahead and pick from the left column there.
Okay. Need to just find
one of the
It's
8 pages required for this expansion.
there it
Yes, I
is.
know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got like 10 handouts open right now.
Yeah. It's okay.
How does an unintended side effect occur?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I look. That's the one I pick every time.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's something more interesting than, sure, it's going to hurt Zach, but it's also going to weaken the cage enough for him to quite possibly break out.
See, I was also going to think about using that as like Zach paying a resolve token to say that happens so Zach can escape. Because I think this whole thing is a lot more interesting if Zach escapes.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker and do some damage, but it will allow him to escape before being apprehended by the proper authorities.
If we are all down for that, go ahead and take that token, Zach. What does this bit of intimidation magic look like, Bernie?
So I think it is, and this can also even tie into the side effect a bit too, is like Bernie just holds out his hand and, stone face, it just completely ignites in flame, just kind of passes it over the cage, and, the bits of the shelves that are metal start glowing red hot, the bits that are wood catch on fire, and, Bernie's hand is going to be burned as well from doing this, but, just sets it alight, and then, cool guys don't look at explosions and just leaves the room as Werewolf Zach starts frantically trying to not get cooked.
I would assume there were some potential yelps of pain and distress from the wolfed out Zachary. However, in their fervor to escape the fire, they would gurr and manage to break through some of the now weakened wooden parts of this transmuted cage. And we did say that there was a window here in this particular room.
Yeah, Zach just frantically kind of claws out of it, and then to escape the pain and getting trapped again, I think animalistic or Fireflight taking over just smashes through the window and into the night. I don't know what story we're on.
Who knows?
But werewolves
so
can't
many.
be killed by height. Gravity is not one of the things that kills werewolves, as far as I'm aware.
The werewolves are like cats, right? They can fall from great heights and land on their feet. If that's not part of the lore, then it is now. It's canon. However, Bernie, you may not hear this because you walk away, close the door, and head out into the hallway with your friends and a new individual in tow. Jessamine, I suppose, during all of this, heads out into the hallway toward Jarvis.
Jarvis is cradling his arm as he looks over to where Jessamine comes out. Bloody hell, I think it might be the blood loss, but there are 2 of you now.
We have a problem.
Jarvis?
If the color from his face could drain any more... Jacqueline?
Oh my god! She'll just throw her arms around you.
Very stone-faced, turns to Jessamine. Explain.
She's what was in the box.
Lab now.
Come on, Jack.
He
What?
throws cloak over her.
Thank you. All right, let's go wherever it's going to take for all of you to tell me what in the bloody hell's going on.
Wait 3 beats for Bernie, and then we make our escape.
Easy enough to do. I feel like we have a 15-minute window for the guard change. Although we'll say right as you are about to leave is when you all hear a really loud crash of wood and glass as Zachary makes his escape. This would definitely alert the changing of the guard, and you all hurriedly make your escape from the college and hastily head toward Jarvis's secret lab. Yes? Cool. Yeah, I would say we probably need to resolve this a little bit. Are we bringing Avalon into this cluster?
Jarvis would like to speak with Avalon.
I think it might be time for cards on the table.
All right, so let's set this up. You rush Jacqueline and the rest of you toward the secret lab, and someone sends a message to Avalon.
Yeah, probably just fire off like a quick sending spell.
Easy enough. Avalon, what were you doing this evening?
I don't know, because I was thinking about that earlier. I have no idea what Avalon was up to. Probably making good on their promise to their mother, like doing some work around the house, maybe balancing some ledgers or writing some letters and stuff like that. So probably in their office.
Lovely. Well, they are alone, and they receive a fiery missive. Maybe they have a heart attack for a moment and think it's from the Arcanum, but no. Turns out it's from Bernie. What's it say, Bernie?
Minor injuries. Jess's twin? ? Jarvis's lab. ASAP. And then, adequate directions to get to Jarvis's lab, because I don't remember if Avalon's been there.
I don't know if that Avalon has been there either.
No, yeah, has not. Is this something, are we saying this is something that Avalon can't respond to, just gets like a magical message with this information? Okay. So just, it freezes, panics for a moment, relaxes, panics again. Well, fuck. Just gets up, grabs their cloak from near the door, and goes storming out to get a carriage into town.
While you're waiting on Avalon, you all arrive in the lab.
Setting Jacqueline down in a chair, Jarvis begins to inspect her wounds, like trauma, that sort of thing.
Again, she seems whole. No major injuries, nothing like that. Some bumps and scrapes, and again, looks like she has not had a good meal in a while. But overall, she's okay.
I need to get some air real quick, so some food for everyone would be nice, I suppose.
Oh, yes, please.
Jarvis will hurriedly leave, anxiety-filled, kind of panicking, but he'll pop over to the Dead Raven? Is that what we named the bar?
Empty Raven.
Empty
There we go.
Raven.
Empty Raven, to get like a charcuterie board or something, pop into like, that one tailor that's open at midnight.
Oh yeah, the one that's open till like 3 a.m. apparently. Sure, why not?
Get her some proper attire instead of the rag she's wearing. And I assume by the time he gets back, like, Avalon's there.
Will somebody fill me in?
I'm about as in the dark as you are. Hello?
Jessamine?
No, that happens a lot, though.
Avalon. My sister Jacqueline.
Hello? Please excuse my attire. She'll pull the cloak a little closer.
Right. Jessamine and Jacqueline. Your parents must have hated you.
Should meet our other
enjoyed
sisters.
J names.
Well, I would like some explanation what's going on.
So would I. What happened? Where are we? Oh, are we in Bexley?
Yes.
All right.
What is the last thing you remember? Because do you not remember being shoved into a box and taken away?
No, I remember quite clearly being shoved into a box. I was in my cell. Then someone opened the door. The light was extremely bright. They grabbed me rather harshly, dragged me toward a carriage and shoved me in a box, and then nothing for a while. And then when I woke up, I heard all of your voices, and I suppose growling. That must have been Zach. And then there you all were.
They were taking you to the college. Do you know why?
No. Jess, honestly, I thought I would die in that cell. I had no idea what's going on.
Might not be the best time, but I feel like I need to ask, why were you in a cell? Who was holding you?
Jack's been in prison.
Okay.
I was accused of trying to kill Baroness Cross. I didn't. I was framed. The whole family was. It was a bloody dirty rumor just to shame our names.
I suppose it's time you knew, Bernard. My name's not Booker. It's Blackwood.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Some things make a little bit more sense now.
Bernie would probably vaguely remember about the Blackwoods since he had been coming back and forth, and the sort of the shaming and running out of society of the Blackwood family only happened in the past 5-10 years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So fairly recently. So he would vaguely remember the Blackwood family. So he did at least have heard of the name.
Okay, yes. Some things make a lot more sense now.
I'm trusting your discretion.
Of course. If you ever
Heidi
know
as
me to
well.
be Right. Okay.
Heidi's here?
Yes. Across the street, tending bar.
Heidi's working. Oh, I thought I'd
Quite
had
good at it,
everything.
too.
Well. You've all saved my life. Thank you. I don't understand why or how, but I do appreciate that at least. I'm fairly certain, however, that I don't believe I was supposed to leave that cell. I'm assuming someone will probably be looking for me at some point.
Well, luckily, you're easy to cover for.
So why were you all rescuing?
At that, Jarvis
Jacqueline.
enters.
What do you know
Stop.
about this?
Absolutely nothing.
You'd better be telling the truth.
Lady Knox had told me to escort a carriage with a parcel into the college. My family told me that there was something important inside of it to steal. I was not made aware of the contents.
Did Zachary know?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Zachary?
My brother.
Yes, I'm
Who is a
familiar with
werewolf?
his reputation. A werewolf, okay. Again, there are a lot of pieces here that I'm not quite putting together.
That's not a parcel, that's my sister.
No. It doesn't make sense.
What would the Lady Knox want with my sister?
Never told me. Same with my family, they just tell me what to grab.
You never ask.
It's sort of not in the job description to ask.
But you'd think when you're dealing with a kidnapping,
I didn't
they
know
might at
it
least
was going
warn
to be a
you what you're going to be
kidnapping.
transporting. I am so bloody tired of you and your secrets.
Oh my god.
Yes, if he says he didn't know, I'm sure he didn't know.
It doesn't excuse anything.
They wanted to bring her up. The orders
What?
I got from... This might come as a surprise to all of you. But first, charcuterie board, dress.
Thank God.
Don't eat
She
everything all at
just-
once. Your body will go
she
into
eats
shock.
everything all at once. Just devours what you put in front of her. Picks up the dress. Oh, thank you. Is there someone to change?
There's a lavatory in the back.
Oh, bath. She's gone. She heads toward the bath and takes a very long one.
Waits till she's gone, grabs Jarvis by the shirt. I swear on my own life, if you knew something about this and I find out later, I will turn you into a frog and I will step on you with the heel of my boot.
I did not know she was going to be inside of that container. I promise you with whatever little honor that I have, that I did not know. I was only told to retrieve the contents. I think we need to sit down and have a drink.
Fine. Fine.
He pours some glasses of whiskey for everyone and begins to divulge a Hawke family secret. For generations in Bexley, there has been one patron that the Hawks have served. There's a dragon in the mountains. And it requests sacrifices of magical items. My family wanted to take whatever the contents were in that box and bring her up.
To sacrifice her.
That's how we get some of our magic at the very least. I need to do some more digging to see if my family actually knew what was inside the box.
Someone did. Someone went to the trouble of breaking her out of prison.
Someone went to the trouble of hiring different thieving factions to try and get her. I think Lady Nox had also hired my brother. She hired me to escort it, hired him to steal it. Her, sorry. This is not good. If Zachary makes his way back to Hawke Manor and reports, I might as well be cut off. That's the least of my worries, actually. That's something I'll need to think about another time.
Well, how smart is your brother, and is he a quick healer?
Given my knowledge of werewolves, perhaps. He's smart in a conniving kind of way.
He doesn't know that you interfered.
He might have an inkling.
Well, at the very least, I hope I managed to focus his animosity for the evening onto myself, so...
Why would you poke a bear, Bernard?
Well, on the one hand, I poked a wolf. I'd like for you to get the particulars right, but it is because it has been brought to my attention that he has taken a contract to go after Avalon, to assassinate them.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to go back through my memory to see if Jarvis knew about this.
Jarvis didn't know about the assassination attempts. Zach asked
Him
if
to
Jarvis
join
wanted to
in.
help. Jarvis kind of put him off and said, "We'll look into that."
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Zach told Jarvis, and Jarvis told the others.
Okay. Cool.
But did not tell
Yeah.
Avalon. This is the first Avalon hearing about it.
Yes. Why?
Unknown. I'm working with a lot of unknowns recently.
All right. So, just so I understand, you all planned and orchestrated a heist without telling me, which involved stealing an item which turned out to hold Jessamine's sister Jacqueline. Zachary was involved, escaped, and is planning to kill me.
To be fair, we
And is a
weren't
werewolf.
And is a werewolf.
And it's a werewolf, right.
To be fair, we weren't on speaking terms.
I'm not sure we still are. But we'll get to that. So I have a werewolf assassin looking for me right now.
Yes.
Not right now. Again?
In the foreseeable future.
Did leave him with a pretty nasty parting gift before we vacated the premises.
Just me, though. Nobody else? It's not after my mother or My sister?
From what I was told, specifically you.
Okay. Well, I guess, Jacqueline, you and I have something in common then. This asshole is looking for both of us.
Looping around to why I asked you to come to the lab, Laird. I want to
Yes.
join the Arcanum.
And why? So you can plan another raid on our next meeting easier? Get an invitation in?
So that when the college falls, I can laugh at whoever's face who did this to Jacqueline.
That's not good enough. Despite all of this, the Arcanum stands for something which you stood in direct opposition of until it suited you to switch sides. If you think it's going to be that easy for me to convince me to allow you into our inner folds, then you take me for a greater fool than I am. You'll have to provide me with something far more enticing than that.
I can help you with your Arcanum raids wherever needed. I'm still in good standings within the college. If you need information on when they're going to hit a meeting, or if there's any supply lines you need, consider the information yours.
I perhaps have something you can help me with. Well, I suppose nobody here is going to be betraying us at any point. Jacqueline, if you don't want any part of this, you might wish to leave, but...
Jacqueline's still taking a bath. She's gone. Y'all can get her.
Oh,
in a
she's
second.
gone.
She's
I
soaking.
thought she was still in the room.
Nah, she is in the bathroom. She is in a bathtub. She's eating
I forgot.
charcuterie in the bath. No, she's good.
Bottle of
Well,
wine.
Bottle
since
of
everyone
wine,
here
hanging
is
out.
involved in this matter anyway, I need to know who in the Arcanum has been leaking information to the college. If you provide me with that information, we can provide you with safety.
I'm not looking for safety, Laird.
I can perhaps grant you access, but I'm afraid that without knowing who this person is, then my hands are tied.
I'll see what I can do then.
Are you saying we try to pass her off as you?
Only if she's seen. We're identical.
So sneak her in. It's not like anybody actually visits the East Wing anyway these days.
She wears my face.
I suppose it could work, but you'll have to coach her a bit in case she is seen, so she can provide a convincing reason for her presence in the manor.
She's me.
Right.
It won't
And
be
if
that
my
hard.
mother finds out and starts yelling at her for something that you've done,
It won't be that difficult. We did this all the time as children.
right. Alright. I'm sure we can make that work. When will you be bringing her by after? Will you be keeping her here for now until we leave for the hot springs?
I suppose. Till she's got a bit of her strength back.
Right.
Jarvis can look after her. For the moment.
And you said she was imprisoned.
Yes, that's where she's been all this time.
If somebody does come looking for her, and they find you,
I hope that's the case. The truth spell would tell them who I am. So I'd rather it be me than her. She's been through enough. Thanks to your mother.
and she didn't do it,
No.
I would not be upset with her if she had. If anything, I might try to set her up with another opportunity, but...
No, but she certainly took the fall for it.
Right.
As did my entire family.
Right. I do not mean to make light of your tragedy. I only wish that whoever had attempted had finished the job.
Succeeded.
Right. Will you be staying here then, or do you require transport back to the manor?
I suppose it would be suspicious if I didn't return.
I can send a carriage, as it would be more suspicious if we return together.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course. I may have more questions for her when she's ready.
So do I.
Well, I'll let the two of you connect first. Was there anything else?
No. No, sorry. It's just been quite an evening.
Well, next time, despite what Mr. Hawke says, if you're planning on any further debauchery, please let me know.
All right.
Good evening, Jessamine.
Good evening. Laird Cross.
One day you'll refer to me as Avalon, as they go to climb into their carriage.
Not in any sort of respectful way.
Wouldn't dream of it.
As Avalon makes their way back to the Cross Estate. Bernie, you hanging out? You heading home?
At least for a little while, because I'm assuming at some point through all this we did tend to the various wounds. I mean, both Jessamine and Jarvis had bite wounds. And so...
Riddle me this. So with that protection spell, did Jessamine actually receive the bite, or did the full damage, like did the full injury go over to Jarvis?
If I remember correctly, it was damage and effects get transferred over to Jarvis,
But amplified.
But amplified.
Okay. Not eviscerated. So again,
Super
I
werewolf.
apologize.
Immediate no.
Jessamine does have some form of injury, though.
Yeah.
Because I
From
opened it
her
back
own
up to do
magics.
man. Yeah.
Shut it. Or have you been married off in the interim?
Who wants to marry a hawk?
Bernie's hand twitches before he's like, nope, let's not raise it.
Beat me to it.
No?
I'll be here.
Were they a thing? Whispering to Jess.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
So, how do you handle competition?
Doesn't love a good little bit of healthy competition.
Are they saying this or whispering it? Because Jarvis wants to say, I'm right here.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I'm
probably
right
sotto
here.
voce.
Jasmine's not trying to whisper. He just says that out loud.
I'm right here.
Oh, I know.
Apparently a lot has happened since I've been gone.
Well, is on the cusp of happening, might be a better way to describe it.
Oh,
That American confidence.
That's all I got.
Oh, that's hardly true.
Yeah, it's hardly true.
Takes a long drink and gives winks all around.
well. Is there any?
I can catch you up to speed.
Thank you. Hate being in the dark. I don't know if I can be of any more use to any of you.
No, for now you just need to rest.
I am very tired.
Oh, and so you can start practicing. Jacqueline Booker now.
Jacqueline Booker? Jacqueline
For the
Booker.
week, anyway. Until you'll meet.
We haven't played that game in a while, but... Well, brush up on that, I suppose. Well, then I think I will bid you all good night.
Good night, Jack.
Good night.
Good
Chill.
evening, Miss Booker.
Throw hugs around, Jessamine. Big hug. Give a bow to Bernie. She don't know you like that yet.
Yeah.
Hey now, whoa now.
Excuse you.
And twins.
And twins.
Fuck.
Hey, you know, we gave a foreshadow at the first anyway. She will carefully make sure it's okay, but go in for a hug for Jarvis as well.
Reciprocates. And he'll walk Bernie and Jess out. Jess, I would never hurt Jacqueline.
Oh, really?
She means a lot to me. If I had
So did
known-
I once.
If I had known she had been in there, I would have came to you forthright.
I want to believe that.
I'm going to do what I can to make sure this is right.
All right. I'm trusting you with her.
More valuable than any sum of gold or even my own life. And that's a promise I can give to you.
Okay.
Good night.
Night.
Jessamine and Bernie make their exits.
Just a quick check-in with Jessamine. You all right? I mean, besides the obvious.
I think I'm still bleeding.
Do you want me to take a look at it?
I suppose. Never been good at the healing side of things.
Know a little bit of everything, but a little bit's better than nothing.
Sure.
So we'll inspect the injury. What was this, like the cut on your palm that got aggravated from doing magic?
No, it was the bite wound that was like mostly healed over, and she reopened it
Okay.
to do magic. That's probably pretty nasty.
Oh.
So that was my real question from earlier. So either the full bite went over to Jarvis, and now Jarvis is the one that may need to look into, the transmission of lycanthropy through a bite. Or we're looking at two people that need to now look into the transmission of lycanthropy through a bite.
What's a better narrative?
Both y'all then. All right.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say. All right. I'm gonna say, go ahead. You would spend a token for the magic, Bernie.
Yep.
But I am gonna say. Savvy, since this is for you, you'd pick from the left column. And I am gonna put something on here as well, given the nature of this.
Okay. I'm gonna say, who helps you and what do they demand of you?
Hmm. This could be interesting. What if Skylar has some healing skills, and so it's like, this looks like it's beyond me. It looks like it's a serious bite, but I know I have a friend who can help. We'll go pay them a late night visit. And then I guess the question that becomes RJ's, what does Skylar demand for being like, hey, sorry, it's 2 a.m., but I've got a friend here with a bad bite wound?
Skylar is in their jammies. Bernard, what is this?
Skylar, sorry for the late night call, but I've got a friend with a nasty wound. It's beyond my skills. I was hoping you might be able to do something about it.
I hope he hasn't been taking you to any bar fights. Come into the parlor.
Thank you.
Maybe down the line, Skylar will ask for a favor. I can't think of anything at the moment.
Good bank of faith then.
Now the horse riding buddy.
Then I will say Skylar does their very best overall, the wound is, especially the reopening portion of the wound, does heal up quite nicely. Except the bite does not heal fully, which is interesting to Skylar, thinking that they could make this go away completely. The actual punctures of the puncture wounds from the teeth are definitely still there, just, looking like they've healed over several weeks. And the flesh around the wounds the veins look almost blackened.
Bernard, you tell me if you're doing anything dangerous, right?
Kind of looking at Jess to see if she's okay with explaining the wound. It's, like I said, something beyond my skills, but shouldn't be anything too concerning. Maybe it got a little infected, and so it's, resisting the healing a bit. At least that was my take on it.
All right. But fair warning, healing magic in our family is pretty strong. It should also help with any sort of infection that are a non-magical malady.
Again, this is beyond my scope of knowledge, but I mean, the main concern was to stop the bleeding, which you have done, for which we are both very grateful. And of course, as you know, I am at your disposal if you need me.
First chance we get for Pegasus riding, then. We'll talk.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Though I'll be away on business for a week or so. But I'll let you know as soon as I'm back.
All right. Be safe then.
You know me.
That's the thing, Bernard, I do, and fills me with anxiety.
You shouldn't have anything to worry about from me over the next week.
And yet here I am, going to be worried about you. Go on then.
Once again, sorry for waking you.
Thank you.
Jessamine and Bernie, any more conversations or heading home for the evening? Good. All right. One final conversation before we take our break. Need a change of music. Jarvis, you head back inside. Jacqueline's just sort of sitting there, bewildered. It's been a bewildering evening overall.
That's what I said about eating too fast. Your body goes into shock after not having done so after a while.
Oh yes, it was the meal that has put me in shock, of course. Not anything else involved in this evening.
He'll sit beside her on the bed.
Oh my god, you're hurt.
Oh, I barely noticed.
You're bleeding profusely. Come here. She'll do her best to sort of cover up the wound. Were you bitten?
Not per se. It's a form of... Well, you see over in certain parts of the south there is a type of how to say magic that reflects any sort of damage done to oneself onto a given target if you have a piece of them. What is the equivalent of voodoo?
Oh boy. He'll go through the explanation. Then you were reflexively bitten by a werewolf.
Pseudo bitten by a werewolf, and I can see the concern in the upcoming. Looks out a window.
Oh, it's a full moon tonight.
Couple of hours or so. I myself have not studied the biology of a werewolf. So
Well.
onset versus actual incubation might be a bit weird.
Jarvis, you never did study, did you? Lycanthropy was originally a curse that was then mutated and spread quite voraciously. Many lycanthropes don't consider it as such, but I suppose I should ask, do you wish to be a werewolf?
You know, I could see there being pros and cons to being a werewolf. I do not like to think of smelling like wet dog all the time. To be a plus.
I'll take that as a no, then.
Your sister also had the totem on her when she was attacked by my brother.
Oh, no.
We can figure it out in our...
Come here.
Oh.
Give me your arm.
You'll offer his arm to her.
I wasn't exhausted before. And she will begin to cast some magic. It's going to take a lot out of her. She goes very pale, but you see similarities between her magic as you do with Jessamine's. Again, the family being well known for transmutation. But it takes on a different form. And she holds the wound for several seconds, almost a minute, I would say, concentrating. And sort of, you would have noticed sort of the darkened veins around the flesh of the wound as well. Almost in reverse, the veins begin to lighten up toward the bite marks themselves. And the wound is still there, but sort of the almost infection around it seems to very slowly dissipate. Until she exhales deeply, is very pale, covered in sweat, but just seems to be a bite now.
He puts an arm around her. You should not have done that.
It's fine. I can take care of Jessie tomorrow. Unless she'd like to be a werewolf, and, that's a personal choice, I suppose.
As ferocious as she is, her as a werewolf terrifies me greatly.
Oh, me as well. I can't imagine the sort of trouble she would get into. I think it's time to go to rest now.
If you need me, I will be right by your side.
Stay? She'll just sort of curl up and pass out.
Yeah.
And as everyone heads off to Betty Bye, with the prospect of hot springs on the horizon, on the goddamn dot. Look at that. We're at our halfway point, so we will go ahead and take a break. Wow. Got a lot in there, y'all. That is the end of our novel chapter. We will take a break, refresh ourselves, refresh our drinks, water, medicine, food, all of that good stuff. You too, water. Water is important. And we will be back in 5 or 10 minutes, but please stick around and we will join you again shortly. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on our break. We are refreshed. My wonderful husband brought me pizza. I have a drink. I have water. Hope y'all did the same. And we just closed a hell of another novel chapter. So we shall jump right into reputation. I feel like we need a different... Sure, yeah. This will do for reputation. Why not? All right. Pop open those family backgrounds and let's peruse, shall we? As we were talking of before, we jump back on. A lot of clandestine matters happened in this particular novel chapter, so we will definitely have to consider that, this might be more along the lines of your own personal code of what is good in this society, not necessarily anything actually being found out by society itself, because y'all like being all spies and stuff. So, does anyone have a definite yay or nay or definite net zero for themselves this go around? It has been a while, so feel free to refresh yourselves on your reputation criteria.
Yeah, this started at the beginning of the heist stuff.
This novel chapter started with the heist planning portion, which then also included the Avalon Jessamine brunch. It included the Avalon at Bernie's, and then all of the heist matters. That's this full novel chapter.
Okay, I forgot about those scenes because I was like, what did Avalon even do this chapter?
Confess
Avalon did a lot of visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Avalon definitely got a positive tag this time, because if I'm remembering right, both of the scenes with like Bernie and Jessamine went with like maintaining appearances of trying to uphold their duty. At least like with Jessamine, it was about agreeing to this arrangement with the Baroness of trying to set Jessamine up with the Duke and all of that. I mean, there was like plotting and stuff with it, but I think acted in service of duty or morality in a way that compromised her desires, because
made a
Avalon
sacrifice
much rather,
be hooking up with Jessamine, at least publicly, necessarily. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is.
And the same thing with Bernie is like it was, having to think about their station and stuff with that relationship. So yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go with that. I don't know what tag.
Thesaurus. Thesaurus.com, future sponsor of our show.
Because I this may be my 5th tag. I gotta start spending some of these positive tags, not the negative ones.
Mm-hmm. You had decorum. You were decorous. You were... Let's see. You were becoming. You were respectable. You were formal. Elegant? No, that's too on the nose. Can't use the name of the game.
I like either formal or respectable.
Respectable. I feel like that can be utilized more easily. Sure, respectable.
Okay.
How's everybody else doing? There's a lot to consider, I know. Yes?
Negative tag.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I picked out the perfect one too. Duplicitous.
Oh, okay, yes. Lots of double dealing here, Jarvis.
Whose side am I on? I don't even know whose side am I on.
I was about to say, I don't even think Jarvis knows. Uh-oh. Is that a 3rd?
That's my 3rd.
Oh no, rep condition.
I'm gonna pick career peril.
Oh boy, what does that mean?
The future of your career is thrown into doubt, and you are temporarily demoted or suspended.
Oh no. Okay. I mean, so this is where we get into weird territory too, because technically speaking, you still also have your previous positive condition, which is your patronage, correct?
Right, but he has his patronage with Lady Knox, but also he works for the college. So I could say that his work at the college has been suspended.
I like it.
Just gonna make this hard on myself.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to play that scene out, even just a little vignette of, just silently with sad emo music playing in the background of just Jarvis getting screamed at by the head of the college.
Happen to me? Made a mistake.
It's so sad, and then he walks in the rain. But his tears are covered up.
It's
by
like the Hulk
downpour.
ending music where he's walking out past the camera.
I mean, I don't even feel like we need to do a scene now. I mean, that's it. Like, we just did it. Great. Done. Who else has one? Savvy.
I've got one. I'm also going to say a positive.
Yes.
Tag, I think, acted in the service of duty or morality. I'm going to say duty and morality.
Yeah.
In different scenes in a way that compromised your desires, because Jessamine, while knowing she is one of the ones that would probably be in the most trouble should she get caught going along with all of this stuff, keeps going along with all of this stuff because she thinks it's the right thing to do.
That is 100% fair. I can agree.
I'm going to say loyal.
Loyal.
Oh, my tag.
I am now going to start asking y'all if when you want to spend a token, if you can spend a tag. Because damn, y'all have lots of tags.
This is the most tags I've had.
I know. It's all good. Well, maybe we'll have some time in the hot springs. All right. Who's left? Just Alex?
That's me.
What you got?
Feeling fairly neutral. I'm trying to think if it is strong enough to say either, acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromise your desires for, trying to do things fully, formally, and properly instead of just being like, hey, I like you, I also like you, I also like you. Let's
do this. Mm-hmm.
Or if by doing that, then I guess it would be saving it more for if and when society does find out that would be acted in contravention of society's conventions, because I'm assuming England don't play like that for the most part, typically.
again, this is our own fantasy England, but yes, for the most part, we're saying that that's not necessarily a regular thing. It's definitely not a run of the mill.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not married to either positive or negative, so might just go with neutral this time.
Okay. Absolutely there. All right. We did it. Reputation done. Now, in preparation of our big event chapter to the Springs, it is time for letters. Ladders. We got ladders. Yes. That seems appropriate for letters. I will eventually just somehow rename all of these like the theme song for certain things. Except we do still have the theme song for the Baroness, which I will only use from here on out when the Baroness is in the scene. Because that's just how it be. Letters time. After the wackiness of this previous evening, who has a letter to write?
We forgot reputations for the factions.
Thank you for the reminder. We know how to play this game. Factions. All right. So, did anyone in any of our factions, I believe the college, that would be Jarvis, received a negative. So, there we go. That's a negative one. However, Arcanum, Layrd got a positive, so there's one. And we didn't have any of our leaders, so we don't need to consider any of them in that. So I think that means college is down one. And Arcanum Populi goes up one. Arcanum Populi, you're only at a -1 now. Look at y'all just jumping up there. And the college goes down to a 3. I like it. Thank you for the reminder. I will remember it eventually. Letters. I have a very simple one. That would be to Jarvis from the Honorable Mrs. Knox, which arrives by a very dubious-looking, large, beefy messenger is thrust into your hands with some stink eye, and then they disappear off into town again. And it simply states, "You failed me. We need to talk." With a beautiful N scrawled across the bottom. Consequences to our actions. Do.
What, in our fantasy game?
This is a collaborative game.
You know what else starts with a C? Consequences. That could have gone a lot of ways. I meant consequences. Someone else please letter.
I had a very similar thing I wanted to do, so can I go in and do that?
Yes.
My letter. I don't know. Okay, you tell me whether this counts as a letter, or if I'm gonna have to do something else, or if I'm gonna spend a token. But I think Jarvis just wakes up in the middle of the night or whenever he's sleeping with just a searing pain in his arm, and similar to many sessions ago, just carved across his arm, it just says, "You're dead."
That's correspondence. Sure. Yeah, that'll be a letter.
It's on the bite mark too. Fucking Zachary.
I have one.
Go for it.
Jessamine is going to write a letter to the Baroness because she's got a request off work. But it is just essentially a letter from Jessamine to the Baroness saying my requests next week away, that I could have the next week away from the manor. I think she probably lies about having an ill family member, like having to take care of an ill family member.
I mean, it's not entirely a lie. Like, Jacqueline's not 100% right now, so.
I think it's something like that.
That sounds fair. And how would the Baroness take that?
She probably doesn't give a shit. I don't think she actually she's probably just like, fine, whatever, I don't care. I have bigger and better and more vampiric things to worry about.
Hell yeah.
Hey, if pretty much everyone's out of the castle, she can just, have sleepovers with Von Karma, I guess.
Where do you want the blood sculpture?
Anyone else?
Jarvis writes a formal apology to Lady Nox, acquiescing to her invitation to talk, but saying that he is going to be out of town on business.
All right.
I mean, there's probably one from Bernie just to whoever maintains the Sinclair beach house, the hot spring house, and just being like, we'll be arriving shortly with a number of guests. Make sure the house is ready, but also that we will require minimal servants during the duration of our stay.
I have a token for you,
Okay.
Bernard. You can take or leave this, but I will say you receive a response from the caretakers of the estate near the hot springs, saying they have already made everything ready for Ms. Graves, who is already in attendance, and they will prepare further rooms for the remainder of your guests. Are you amenable to this?
Yep.
All right.
That's gonna be a fun carriage ride conversation.
Uh-huh.
Would it be better for the narrative to wait until we're there? No. If Bernie is gonna pull this off, he needs to have that chat on the way there.
Uh-huh.
Then I guess I know what my second letter is going to be, unless someone else wants to do theirs. So, a response to the guests with, or to the staff to, yes, that is perfectly fine. And also please pass this along to Miss Graves. And basically just... Miranda, I know that we have a lot to talk about, and there will be time for this conversation But I also want you to be aware that the guests I am arriving with, there is a lot going on with them as well, including between me and them. And it is... my intention is for this to be a weekend of honesty and openness, and I will extend that to you. Just be ready for confusion and conflicting personalities between my guests. I am eagerly awaiting to see you in person once again.
Alrighty then.
There is a letter from Skylar Maddox to one Miss Jessamine Booker. From what I can tell, you and Bernard have been together recently, and I was hoping that we could speak about him. I feel like you are more of a confidant than I am at this point. If it is amenable, Pegasus writing? Question mark, and that's the end of it.
Few more second letters, I believe.
Yeah. I guess my second one will be a response to Skylar. Just saying, thank you again for your services. And of course, I'm amenable. A friend of Mr. Sinclair's is a friend of mine. I look forward to getting to know you and discussing our mutual acquaintance, hopefully in some depth. Yours, Jessamine Booker.
Is that everyone, or did Val have one more?
I haven't done a second one yet. I was debating. Yeah, I think this one is... who's it more interesting to write this letter to? I think this is a letter that Avalon leaves with their mother. It says... Mother, I will be away for a... should we set a time frame on how long this trip's going to be?
Most of a week.
A week. I'll be away for about a week on business. I'm attempting to secure some favors in town, and I will be traveling during that time. I've heard some troubling news and rumors around Bexley that there may be some ill intent against our estate. For your and Morgan's safety, I would ask that you redouble our guards around the keep for the interim until I can suss out the validity of these rumors. We'll speak more upon my return. It just says Avalon.
Excellent. Believe that is everyone.
You have a second letter. You used the token to have the staff speak to me.
Oh, that's right. You were absolutely right. And mine, a second. I'm thinking if I want Miranda to respond, but no, I think she'll talk to you when you get there. My second. My second will be, not meaning to pick on you, Jarvis, but you pissed some people off.
Hit me with your best shot.
Why don't you hit me? Sorry. That seems more appropriate for this letter. You receive a familiarly sealed letter from your auntie. She goes straight in without any of the greetings. I've heard disturbing news from Zachary. The quarry is gone. Find her. You do not understand the peril that you and your family are in if she is not found. Bring her to me. She signs off. And with that, tonal change. Now we have finished with letters. Which means we're at the end of this cycle of play. It's time for upkeep. I did learn a new rule. If y'all have tokens, you don't get no more. Only if you got none, you get 2. Y'all got tokens, you don't need any more. Don't worry about it. I'm full up. So I'm good there. How are we on monologues?
2 of us still need to monologue.
Looks like it. So Bernie needs to, and Avalon needs to. It looks like. Who would like to go first?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Oh, I did not foresee Miranda certainly being present this weekend. I figured it probably would be good to discuss her, given that at least Avalon has heard the rumors. With her being there, that will complicate things, but it will also be good to clear the air, not just for the sake of everyone here in Bexley, but between she and I as well. Though I am concerned that the exact nature of our relationship will come to light. It was not something I had been quite willing to make the others aware of yet, but I guess, as I said in the letter, this is a week for honesty and openness. Once they learn this about me, it will be very difficult for them to view me the same way, and I just hope that it doesn't change their perception of me too much. But I certainly trust them all in other aspects. I should trust them to not be swayed over much by this revelation. But In the worst case, I'll just leave them all with all the alcohol in the house. They can all get to know each other and Miranda, and I'll just wander off into the woods for some unknown amount of time. But I do hope I'm able to explain myself, because I certainly don't view myself as the villain not all this, in how I handled things with Miranda, but I was certainly not as fair or kind to her as I could have been. And I hope that she understands.
Excellent. Laird Cross.
I swear I'll leave these people alone for 20 minutes and they go and steal a person from the most heavily guarded building in Bexley. There's a lot that needs to be sorted out this next week. Reluctant to stay away from my dealings in supplanting the current leadership of the Arcanum, but perhaps some time away might give me some perspective. Mr. Hawke could be used here. I wasn't expecting an offer to join the Arcanum, and I'm still not quite sure that I trust him. But if he provides me with the information that I seek, then I suppose it'll be worth giving him an opportunity to prove himself. Somebody's trying to kill me. I should do something about that. And that's it.
Done and done. You monologued. Now refresh your monologues. Fair game once again. Now let's check in with our inner conflicts. Man, there's a lot of fodder for those. As before, go ahead and check in on your something versus something. We have some fun ones. You are welcome to hit through on one check on each side that has not been utilized yet. If anyone has one or two, feel free to shout them out. And please remind us of what your inner conflict is. Sabby.
I got one, I think. So mine is love versus responsibility. And I think I'm going to mark you took action in pursuit of responsibility. Once again, because we keep getting into these situations out of duty or out of it being the right thing to do. And man, I could just get in a whole lot of trouble. But I keep doing it anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to mark responsibility.
All right. This is fair. Who else has got something for me? Are we checking anything? Also, I think we are getting to that point. I'm going to be pulling that up real quick. If you have either a full side, all 5 on one side filled in, or if you end up with a total of 6 in total on both sides, that will trigger a extended background condition, which we can talk about momentarily. Anyone else have one on either side? And please remind us of what it is.
Responsibility versus freedom is my dilemma.
Mhm.
And I think your actions in pursuit of this side destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other one for responsibility.
That's real fair. Like, real fair. Go for it.
I can't also. No, it's only one. Got it.
One on each side. So if you have one for the other side, you could utilize that too.
No, I'm pretty stuck in there. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was debating mine.
Unless we're counting pursuing a polycule as pursuing innovation, I don't know that I have one.
That's great.
I was debating whether choosing to surrender to my mother's wishes would count against degrade your reputation or went against your conscience for the sake of ideals. Because it wouldn't degradation to reputation, I don't think that's not the part I'm focusing on. It would be more of went against your conscience for the sake of it.
That's entirely up to Avalon. I mean, do they feel that it was sort of more Machiavellian than that? Like it was kind of ends just by the means?
I don't think she's asked. I think that would more so. I don't think I'm ready to check that one because I don't think she has asked them to do anything at this point that would necessarily. It's more like the fear that she's going to ask Avalon to do something that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to do it. So if that comes up, I'll check it. I don't think just the threat of that happening is enough for me to justify checking it. So I can't think of anything that I.
Fair enough. Is that everyone, or do we have any left? We all set? All right. No extended backstories yet? That's okay. That's okay. All right. I don't, unless something came up for our collaboration that anyone feels like we need to address, any changes, overall feel pretty comfortable, or if anyone feels that gameplay has warranted them to change their desire as well, upkeep would be the time for that. Yes, I thought you might raise your hand there, RJ. What you thinking?
I need to take a look at the desires and relationships to find one that's fitting, but Jarvis's desires have definitely changed.
This is very fair. Feel free to take a peek. You don't have to answer now, but we will go ahead and say that Jarvis may have a change of priorities right now. That is 100% fair. So we will figure that out after game. That is fine.
Immediately found something.
Oh, okay.
Not quite rival, but take revenge on your rival for stealing what you love.
Okay.
We'll modify it a little bit.
We can modify. I'm fine by that. That is fine. That makes sense to me. Go and plug it in there.
No, just write it out.
Excellent. All right. We are back at the beginning. A very good place to start. So, Avalon has secured our transportation, I believe was what was stated. Sure. That's good travel music. Why not? Rounding everyone up. How are you getting out of the estate, Jessamine?
Well, assuming that the Baroness knows that she's leaving, would probably like leave and go into town
Okay.
like she had left, and then have them come pick her up.
Like at the tavern,
like at the
or something.
bar or something. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Perhaps the meeting place is just the tavern. Everyone kind of pulls up with their trunk and awaits heading out. Or does Jarvis feel better about staying at the lab with
Honestly, staying at the lab's a bad idea, so the tavern it is. There are more
Okay.
eyes.
Fair enough. Jacqueline is going to attempt. Jacqueline's going to go ahead and throw on a traveling veil, which was definitely a thing. Little tiny hat with a long veil in front, with her hair now black. She's hoping it's enough to dissuade anyone from recognizing who she is. However, she is going to run into Heidi at the tavern. How's that gonna go? Are we informing Heidi of what the hell is happening? Or are we keeping her in the dark?
That's up to Jess.
I think at this point I have to tell her. She knows everything else.
To save, for sake of brevity, sort of just give her the download.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of what? She'll pull, wave for Jacqueline to come into the back and give her a big hug and, tears and everything. Some reunited. But she promises to keep an eye on things in town and send you quick word if she hears anything untoward, and let you know immediately.
A quick aside to Jessamine. Not to be a damper on the festivities or anything, but I received a missive from my family.
And?
We'll show her the letter.
Ah.
As well as the "you're dead" carved into his arm.
Ah. I see. Right. Good thing we're getting out of town for a bit.
I could always say that I'm trying my best to find whatever was in the crate.
Suppose you'll have to.
I'm going to try and avoid Zachary for the foreseeable future.
A capital idea.
This... Effectively, I've been taken out of the equation. Along with troubling Lady Knox, my position at the college has been put into question.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
You always do.
The college can't suspend me if I burn the college down.
Alright, let's not go overboard.
You said I'd figure it out.
Well, they can't all be good ideas.
I said I was the idea guy. Was it a good idea? No.
Excellent. Unless there's any other conversations in the internum, Heidi wishes you farewell. Avalon arrives with said carriages. And you all embark on your day's journey toward the hot springs. Any conversations to be had in transit?
Yep.
I had a feeling. Is it one gigantically large carriage? I feel like magic may warrant that you could all sit in the back of one carriage like it's a magically enhanced, like, fucking limo or something. Or are you in separate carriages? You tell me.
See, I was thinking it's a magic carriage that's like bigger on the inside sort of situation.
Yeah! No, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So what appears to be a simple, 2 to 4 person stagecoach on the interior is more like the size of a small flat.
I like the idea that it actually like expands based on the number of people getting inside of it. So like 2 people in there, then it's like more of an intimate carriage, and then like more people coming in, the space like expands for the additional like guests.
Nice. I like it. So for the now 6 of you, it's very sizable.
It's a party
inside.
bus.
Yeah. Refreshments, like little mini bar. It's great.
Hold on, who's the 6th? Because it's the 4 of us and Jacqueline.
Oh, sorry, 5. I don't know why I added an additional person. And me, your facilitator. I'm there in the background. No.
Check
5.
your
There's
invisibility
5 of you.
spells.
The 5 of you. Sid can't count. All right. Conversations in your spacious, magically enhanced carriage.
I think it probably takes a couple hours for Bernie to work up the nerve to this, and as he's thinking over how to approach it, but probably as we're settling in for brunch time tea or something. Everyone, I feel there are a couple items that I should discuss with you all before we arrive. When I was speaking with the staff there to make sure things were prepared, they informed me that the house was already ready because of someone else who will be there waiting for us.
Family?
That's part of what needs to be discussed.
Bernard, I mean this with all the kindness in the world. Please spit it out. There are assassins after some of us.
Right. Well, some of you, I know Avalon certainly has heard these rumors that I am fleeing a fiancé from America.
Oh, that's all just baseless accusation, correct?
Well, so there is obviously far more nuance to that, but one Miss Miranda Graves will be waiting for us at the hot springs, and well, she and I have been friends since childhood, and I hold great affection towards her. Our families arranged a marriage between us, which was not something either of us was particularly keen on, but I suppose I handled it far worse by fleeing across the Atlantic to make sure the marriage did not happen.
Oof.
So, questions or comments, I can explain further if more details are requested.
No, I think we understand the situation.
As
Bernard, you dog.
yes, I certainly could have handled things far better, but as I imagine you will come to find out over our time this upcoming week, that I had some very good reasons for not wishing for the marriage to occur. But as I said, I still hold great affection towards her, and if the circumstances were different, I could certainly see myself happily marrying her. But the circumstances added undue pressure to the situation.
Well, it seems as though she didn't take it very well.
We will have to see. I did not receive direct correspondence from her.
Bernard? That's what makes me think she didn't take it very well.
Yes. And
So I'm assuming you haven't informed her of your new romantic interests at this time.
Plural.
I alluded to such things. I sent her a letter to let her know that I would be arriving with multiple guests, that there is a lot of complicated goings-ons amongst us, but that I do wish to be forthright with her when we arrive, just as I wish to be forthright with you all.
Well, I hope that goes well for you.
Yes, well, we shall see I suppose if she kicks me straight out of the carriage, that will answer some things.
Or if she just stabs you in the throat.
I'm
That
not
is also
doing
a possibility.
I'm not doing a totem for that. Good luck, friend.
I'll enchant my cravat or something.
I just wouldn't give her the information over dinner. Too much cutlery.
Yes.
I wouldn't do it before dinner either. Chances to poison your wine.
Right.
Yes. Well,
Yes, don't let her near your food after.
Well, I guess that is one other point. I did kind of tell the staff that we wouldn't really be needing their services this week. I understand this may be a bit of a shock for some of you looking very directly at Avalon, but I thought it might be good for us to, at the very least, because of other circumstances, not have people that we cannot vouch for around. But it might also be a nice change of pace to not have servants at your beck and call.
I've never had servants at my beck and call.
Right, because I left my place of work to want to work for a week.
Oh, I will handle things. Don't you worry, just we will be roughing it, as we sometimes call it in America.
So how do we eat?
I mean, there are still facilities, just will do the cooking.
How does one do that?
Right.
Bernard, I can take care of.
Bernie, you are aware that these are very nice facilities around the hot springs. Like there's nightlife, there are
Yes.
cafes and restaurants and things. So you will, if you do not wish to cook for yourselves, you could go out somewhere to the town nearabouts and get food already prepared as well. So Avalon doesn't have a connection.
We won't be in the middle of nowhere, but in the house itself, it will just be, well, I suppose the 6 of us.
Lovely.
Avalon, dear, your jaw is on the floor.
There are just certain aspects to noble lifestyle that I hadn't realized would inconvenience me if I did not have access to them. Because I
Have
never
you
have.
dressed yourself? Or do you
Yes.
normally let your...
No. I don't press my own clothes every morning. They're usually arranged for me based on the outfit I've chosen the night before.
Leave it outside my door. I will press whatever suits you may want.
I will compensate you appropriately for that. Well, this should be fun.
It'll certainly be entertaining for you all, but I do not want any of you to hold any animosity towards Miranda. While I certainly don't view myself as a villain, I understand I may appear to be so in this situation, but
Not quite a villain, more of a cad.
She may use the term villain.
Yes.
I would hope that she understands to a degree, certainly on a logical level. On an emotional level, she may... Like I said, I may very well be kicked as soon as I step out of this carriage.
Right.
Yeehaw.
Dinner and a show. Can't wait.
Oh, and Jacqueline, I suppose you should be made aware that I am intending to court everyone here in this carriage except you.
Looks to Jess. Looks to Jarvis.
I've given him
Looks
a
back to
20.
Jess. Looks back to Jarvis. Oh. Right. You see a look that you may be familiar with on Jessamine's face arrive onto Jacqueline's, one of determination, as she looks between you, Bernard, and then back to Jarvis, and then back to you, Bernard. Well, I suppose at least in one regard, let the games begin.
I'm right here.
I know
She
that.
knows.
Well, I don't see
I hope
why...
you Americans are used to disappointment.
Quite the contrary, I don't see why we can't both share the spoils of victory.
Looks to Jess. You're very interesting friends.
I know.
I hate it here.
I hate my life.
But don't you worry, we've got about 3 more hours until we arrive.
Lords.
I'm still quite tired. Sort of cozies up to one side of Jarvis, lays her head on his shoulder,
Oh.
stares right at you, Bernie.
Almost instinctually, Jarvis like laces his fingers in hers while he's looking out the window.
Just gives her a smile and a wink.
Oh my god, Jessamine, I completely forgot. You were bitten, were you not?
Yeah, it's really nothing.
It's most certainly something, if I'm to understand. Here, she'll try to take your arm.
She'll let her.
I may have learned a thing or two. I might be able to teach you.
All right.
transmutation isn't simply of physical things. Intangible's a fair game as well. If you know what you're doing. She'll wink. She'll focus in, and as before, take a good minute. It's long bit of magic. But very similarly, Jarvis, to what she did for you the previous evening. Jessamine, you'll see sort of the darkening of the veins and everything around this bite, sort of that infection that it looks like, sort of fades into the bite itself and then sort of almost evaporates out of it. She's pale, she's covered in sweat, but it just looks like a bite. And since you had Skylar tend to the wound, the bite itself completely disappears.
Wow. Impressive.
You should be good.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, now I will be sleeping for the remainder of our travels. Excuse me. And she'll sort of lay down on Jarvis's shoulder and promptly fall asleep. Any other conversations in our travels?
Jarvis updates Avalon on his positions.
On his what? I didn't catch that last part.
His position with like his family and the school and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So that you've been, just so I remember, you're kind of kicked out of the school right now, of the college.
Yeah,
And your
and he's in
family.
hot water with his family.
And your brother wants to kill you.
You leave that out.
Which I should say, from like my position as Zachary, him saying you're dead is more of like a metaphorical you're dead, not necessarily that he's going to kill you yet.
I don't trust him when a full moon's out to leave it at a metaphor.
Yeah. Right. Well, that does put a hindrance in planning, doesn't it?
I still have a few favors in the school. Not much, but something.
Well, we'll see how things shake out after this week. We can come up with a plan in the meantime.
This is nice, actually.
Yes, it makes me far more comfortable spending a week with you in the same house.
Oh, I was going to say, normally I would have to do the planning and the execution myself. It's good to have extra eyes and ears on things.
Well, I've been planning to supplant or undermine the college for the better part of a decade. So I might have a few ideas here and there.
Well, if it's any consolation, my loyalty is yours, as well as everyone else here in the cab. I think that's the only thing I have left going for me at this point.
Well, as I said, I have some ideas that we may need to discuss later.
Do you want to make a wager? Does Bernard get kicked in the face or the groin?
Oh. Well, for the sake of my friend, I'll say face.
I'll say groin. His face is too pretty.
As this wager goes on, we'll say after a few more hours, you believe that you have arrived. The carriage pulls through a magnificent marble archway. And inside, you see, again, sort of playing off of our beach episode of season 1, just a lovely, you would call it a beach town, except knowing geography as most of you do, you are nowhere near the sea right now. However, as you go through the arch, you see magnificent villas, houses, estates along what appears to be a sort of roiling body of water with vapor sort of, rising up above it even in the daylight, and it's a seasonably warm day. It's still that hot. Going through this small little beach town, you spot a magnificent structure of beautifully ornate columns with lovely mosaics and sculptures covering the exterior. It looks gorgeous and old, very old. Anyone gifted with knowing anything about runes and the magic of that nature, this place is heavily guarded magically as well. And I don't think many of you have seen anything like it before. But you have, Bernie. You are well aware of this spot. That is the main bathhouse, as it were, for the Truth or Consequences hot spring. The carriage pulls around to your instruction to the Sinclair estate nearby. It's right across the way, in fact, very close. And you are able to disembark from your carriage and head into, your estate for the week, it seems. It's spacious. It appears that the servants, before you sent them off, I guess, have made everything ready for your arrival. But as the carriage pulls up, you do see exiting from the interior of the house someone you recognize, Bernard, but the rest of you, she does have to duck down through the doorway because standing close to 7 or 8 feet tall, you see a lovely centaur. She has a gorgeous chestnut body and is adorned in a lovely sort of, afternoon dressing gown of a brilliant emerald green. She has beautiful red curly hair. Maybe Bernard has a type, which is pinned up currently for, just like a casual day wear. Her arms are crossed as she watches the carriage arrive, but she's smiling, and she does wave at your arrival.
Just a quick turn to Laird Cross. Can I rescind our bet? Because if Bernie gets kicked, he's going to die.
Maybe a second wage on whether he survives.
She will meet the carriage, and she will wait for you all to exit.
moment of truth. I will do introductions, assuming I can get any words out. But I should probably go first. We'll open the door. And I think it kind of stops on like the step of the carriage so that we're at eye level. Miranda, it is wonderful to see you again.
You are one sly dog, Bernard Sinclair.
So I've been told.
Well, come on in. I'm sure your friends have had a long journey.
That they have, and I'm sure you'll hear all about it, but some introductions first.
Please, by all means.
Here we have Laird Avalon Cross.
Miranda
Miss-
Graves, pleasure to meet you.
Yes, likewise.
Mr. Jarvis Hawke.
Pleasure. Oh, twins?
Yes, and would have checked with Jessamine beforehand if she wanted to be introduced as Booker or Blackwood.
She's gonna stick with Booker for now.
And yes, these are the sisters, Jessamine and Jacqueline Blackwood. Or
Yep.
Booker. That's an Alex goof, not a Bernie goof.
Was that an Alex or was that?
We pull out our pistols and shoot her. No one can know.
I love it. Well, aren't you two pretty little things?
Thank you.
Well, Whitaker arranged everything before he hightailed it out of here. You called out the servants? Why?
Yes, as I mentioned, our circumstances are somewhat complicated. Why don't we explain more inside?
After you, my liege.
Yes. Right. That's something else we should discuss, but again, inside.
All right. Well, come along. I took the quarters downstairs, if y'all don't mind. Stairs and I, well, we don't always get along, you can imagine. Come on in, I guess. Why am I playing hostess? Is this your house?
Yes, everyone. And Bernie will start, he'll pull out his wand and start enchanting the luggage to float down off the carriage. Takes everyone inside, starts getting people situated.
Bernie, she'll allow you to start like waving everyone in, but she'll go ahead and put a hand on your shoulder. Can I talk to you for a moment?
Of course.
What do you mean that's something else you got to talk about?
None of them are aware of that aspect of my lineage. And I am still figuring out when is the appropriate time to make them aware.
It's kind of an important aspect for your friends to know that you're King of America. I feel like that would have come up at some point.
Yes, well, as you know, I am not king yet, but...
You as good as... Well, I guess in one way that's a good thing. None of them are trying to use you in any way if they don't know, but...
And that is precisely why I'm still figuring out when to tell them, because I don't want their perception of me to change based on that rather important detail.
Bernie, do you intend to marry one of these people?
God's willing, I intend to marry all of them.
Booming laugh. And they're all right with that over here.
There may be some obstacles to it, but we're starting with just making sure present company is okay with it.
Oh, you always do get yourself into a right pickle, don't you?
Yes, but that is at least half my charm, is it not?
Look, I came to tell you that the heat is off of you in that regard, but I feel like I may need to stay and give you a hand here.
I would appreciate that. Thank you. And it is so good to see you again, Miranda.
I wish you would have just talked to me. We could have figured it out. You didn't have to run off.
Yes, well, I certainly did not handle things in the most appropriate manner, but
No, you did not.
at the very least, I'm curious how my friends are resolving their wager. I was, when it began explaining, thought you might kick me as soon as you saw me, and they were betting on where the blow would land.
Oh, well, do you get something if I do kick you or I don't kick you?
I don't think I get anything either way.
No, turn around.
Turn
around. She'll right in your ass.
Bernie lets out an exaggerated yelp and goes sprawling, but also got kicked by a centaur, so not much acting.
Jarvis hands Avalon a few bills.
All right, who's ready for a week of hot springs? Oh.
Whoa.
Woo.
I don't woo.
We know.
Oh, just wait. I'll do enough wooing for everyone involved.
Oh, that was terrible.
I did just get kicked, if you'll excuse me.
You probably deserved it. No, wait. I did not probably. I know this. You did deserve it.
Oh, shall we say with that, we'll go ahead and sum up everything for today. Yeah, I think that's a lovely note to end on. Thank you all ever so much for joining us this evening. Yeah, we've got a lot going on here, don't we? And we get a full-blown beach episode this time around, y'all. That's so much fun. Before we let everyone go, does anyone have anything they would like to?
No, did we lose Sid?
Oh no.
Does anyone have anything they want to plug?
Rip.
I do not.
I do not.
Nope.
One of us might have to sign out if either before she drops. Should we go ahead and
Let's go ahead and sign off.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us so much. We love you all very much. Stick around. We're gonna raid our good friend Rachel, who's playing some video games right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see everybody tomorrow at same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, for a new episode of Neon Souls, or Cypher System cyberpunk game. But until then, good game and good night, internet.